It is either due to ignorance about who Africans really are or a deliberate disrespect for African women to think that there may be some problems that African women can only solve through contraception and abortion. I also think it's a demeaning view of who Africans really are, as if all we are just sexual beings. Better education, better health services, good information of the people, better amenities, and most of the problems that Africa have today will be minimized, if not disappear altogether. African women need to be respected, and whoever consulted with them before deciding they need contraception and abortion anyway.
Most African languages do not have any way of sugarcoating abortion or making it look like anything positive. So that somebody is bringing abortion and offering it to us as if it's a solution to anything, now that becomes a problem for us, because this is as I said, this is a direct attack against human life.
But I would say the most serious that I know now is the aggressive promotion of the elements of the culture of death, a contraceptive culture, the effort to make Africans believe that abortion is an acceptable thing, the promotion of the divorce mentality, the promotion of the gay culture, and the attempt to even infiltrate curriculums of education with such ideas that make children think that it is okay to be any of these things, to practice contraception, to consider abortion.
They are also bringing to us very poisonous so-called comprehensive sexuality education, which is a way that they are using to reach out to the young people in Africa, knowing that if you cut off the young Africans who are still quite impressionable and still being formed from the adults who already have this cultural set of values set within them, that if you manage to cut them off, then maybe in the next few years, in the next few decades, they can go ahead and do then whatever they like in terms of pushing for social change.
Well, we do have a history of imperialism, and at this moment, one could say, oh, our countries are independent. But it is a great injustice for a group of people or some nations today. Not only, they don't even hide it anymore. They don't even pretend anymore. They simply say, the way Africans live their life, the values they believe in, the faith they have in God is no longer acceptable. It must all be taken away for a certain kind of way of living, which even in the countries that promote them are strange to people, many people who live in those countries. And when Africans resist that and say we are a different kind of people, then all sorts of incentives or all sorts of temptations and bribery is brought in order to force them to accept that. There are countries today that insist on tying the aids and grants that go to developing nations to such non-values, as I call them, because they are not values to the African at all. They are non-values. And because many African countries have weak governments, they are tempted to accept these huge amounts of money and compromise the values of their own people. And that is a mortgaging of the future.
These countries come in at the heels of also some very ideologically distorted organizations like Marie Stopes International, organizations like International Planned Parenthood Federation, IPAS. These are wealthy, well-funded Western organizations. They are very much as colonial as the political colonials that we had, all those 80, 90 years ago in Africa, that we have been decolonized, but then it's as if we're being recolonized culturally, socially, and that we find very, very unfortunate and very offensive.
The bishops of Nigeria have taken up the decision to support the pro-life movement because of the realization of the encroaching culture of death. And that is why in the last couple of years, the Catholic Bishops' Conference, either at provincial or national level, has begun to promote conferences, pro-life conferences, pro-family conferences, marches for life, and we've had some quite successful ones. The very incredible thing is the interest the young people developed in it. Because the average African young person is positive about life and they need the information, they need the statistics, they need the encouragement to take up these facts and stand up for life. And why would you stand for something negative and stand for death rather than stand for life? Choose life.